Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Namaste. Welcome. My name's Keith. Thanks for tuning in. I'm not the only one, I know I'm not, who spends more energy than I should, more energy than I would like to, going outside of myself. Sometimes it feels like I'm bending over backward to go out of myself, multitasking, trying to do too many things all at once, walking down the street with a cup of coffee and a smartphone and having a Zoom call while walking, something insane like that. And it's so much effort and it really just doesn't serve, right? So what if I put that much energy and effort instead of going out to going in? And I'm not saying that I never put that much effort to go in. I do. But sometimes when I find myself going out, I think, why am I still going out? Why am I not getting this yet? Why don't I just do what I know I'm supposed to do and put the effort in to go in? Everything is better. Sleep is better. Food is better. Life is better. Right? Put the effort in. When you tell people that you practice yoga, they might not say it to you, but they imagine you tied up in knots. And they're not totally wrong. The difference between what happens when we go out, we go out, we go out, we go out, in that situation, someone else, something else comes along, ties us up in knots, puts a fancy bow on it. Thank you, coronavirus. And then we don't really know how to get out. Or we spend so much energy getting out that we come out of the other side of this experience depleted. But when we do the tying up, when we go inside, then we have to find our special path. We have to find our special way in. And if we know our special way in, we also know our special way out. We get to choose when we go in, how long we stay in, how we get out, and when we come out of it, things are always better. Things are always better. So what stops us from going in? What asks us to go out? The answer is always the same. It's fear. It's scary to go into ourselves. It's scary to find that path, to pull away from everything that wants our attention. And so we don't. We avoid the fear and we go out, we go out. I don't see you, I don't see you. Go out, go out, go out. But when we step away from that fear and we go in, that's where real change happens. That's where we really meet ourselves. So go in. Keith, go in. Okay? Take your dominant hand and hold it up. When your hand is in this shape, it's called abhaya mudra. Abhaya mudra means fear not, or the fearless mudra. So hold that there. The Yoga Sutras tells us, when talking about the kleshas, that one of the things that really gets in our way, kleshas are obstacles, is our fear of death, our fear of the unknown after this existence, the fear of loss when death meets someone that we love. Whenever you see fear, I'm not saying don't be afraid, but notice the fear. Ask yourself if there's anything you can do about it. Ask yourself if doing nothing about it means that you are going to be stuck. If you are not going to grow. If you are going to be tied up in a bow that you can't get out of. And then ask yourself to fear not. To step back. To see it for what it is. Know that it is real when it is. know that it's not real when it's not. And ask yourself not to be in the place of fear, not to be in the grip of fear, and to instead fear not. Hold on to the mudra. Tryambakaṃ yajāmahe sugandhiṃ puṣṭivardhanam urvārukamiva bandhanān mṛtyormukṣīya mā'mṛtāt tryambakaṃ yajāmahe sugandhiṃ puṣṭivardhanam urvārukamiva bandhanān mṛtyormukṣīya mā'mṛtāt tryambakaṃ yajāmahe sugandhiṃ puṣṭivardhanam urvārukamiva bandhanān mṛtyormukṣīya mā'mṛtāt. The mā'mṛtyormukṣīya mantra is the mantra for healing. It's the mantra that reminds us that we are deathless, that our soul is immortal. It's also the mantra that gets chanted when someone has passed on, when someone has died, to help their spirit find freedom. Start to make your way onto all fours. And use that just as a moment to unfold your seat, to let your legs stretch out. Move your hips side to side. And then cross your ankles, roll past the seat again, but bring the soles of your feet together. Scoot in close to yourself. You can always prop up on a blanket to give yourself extra room. No forcing your knees. And then find some length in your spine. Tense your right fingers behind your tailbone and your left fingers in front of your toes. Simply sit up by pressing through your right arm and then rotate a little bit there to the right. And then unravel that as you breathe in and switch your arms and rotate over to the left. And then soften. Left hand on your right inner thigh as you tense your right fingers behind you here, without pressing too much down through your knee joint. And then come around. Right hand on your inner thigh and twist. And then one more time, come through. Press your left hand down into your right leg, your left hand. Press your left hand. Press your left hand into your thigh and really press your right thigh down at the same time, just with the muscles of your right leg. And then undo and go the other way. So as you press with your right hand, use your left abductors to press your leg down on the other side. Good, and then undo that. Bring the soles of your feet flat to the ground. Cross your legs. Come to all fours. But then walk your knees backward a little bit. Keep your toes curled under. And explore a little puppy dog shape. You can even walk your hands forward a little bit more. Set your hips up over your knees and let your head come down. Move through your hips. Fill in your back. Really extend your arms. And then one hand coming back alongside your head, the other, so that you can come to all fours. Pause there and let your shoulders get heavy over your wrists. And then begin to move your knees forward. Keep your toes curled under. You can widen your knees a little bit and then begin to press back on your way into a squat. You can always double up some blanket underneath your heels. And then move a little bit through your hips and waist, fanning open through a leg and then fanning the other leg open. And then center yourself out. Use your left hand down on the floor right in between your 2 feet. Lean over to the left. Roll into the pinky edge of your right foot. And like when you were sitting in Baddha Konasana, guide your thigh open a little bit. And then undo that. Drop your right hand. Lean your right shoulder into your leg. Move to the pinky edge of your left foot. And then encourage your left thigh open. And undo that. Come through the middle again. Take your left hand onto your right ankle. Lean into your inner left leg. And then fan open one more time with your right leg. And you can guide your thigh open. Undo. Switch it so your right hand reaches across. Lean to your right. And then you can roll to the pinky edge of your left foot and guide your left thigh open. Your left arm gets longer and your left waist gets longer. Undo it. And keep both feet flat to the ground. Move your left hand onto your right ankle, front of your shin, and reach your right arm forward. And as you do, begin to lean your left shoulder into your left leg. Turn your right palm down. Open up through your right waist. And then move left with your right arm. So you can begin to reach in the direction of your left knee. Your right hand can sneak behind your head, and your middle finger might touch your knee there. Turn your gaze over towards your right elbow. And then undo that. Play it the other way. Your right hand over to your left shin. Reach your left arm forward. Lean to your right, your left palm down. So as you begin to reach across your mat to the right, you can let your left arm sneak behind your head, rotate, and your left fingers might find your right knee or they might not. and then undo. Pause in the middle. Drop your chin. Move a little side to side with your head. And then from there, begin to make your way back onto all fours on your way to downward facing dog. Extend your legs, pedal from side to side. Move your head. And then begin to walk to the front of your mat. Fold into yourself. Bring yourself up to stand in Tadasana. Anchor through your feet. Grow some length up through your spine. And then as you're breathing in, move your arms forward. Let your right hand grab your left forearm. And then release. On the other side, as you go forward, your left hand can grab hold of your right forearm. You can turn your right palm to the midline and then release. Again, as you go forward, grab your left forearm with your right hand, breathe in, but then lean to your left as you breathe out. Bring it back up through center and release both arms. Move it forward so that your left hand can grab your right forearm somewhere near the elbow. And then lean to the right. Keep anchoring into both feet. Come back up. Release it. Do it again as your right hand grabs hold of your left forearm, somewhere at the elbow crease perhaps. Lean left with your breath out. Look over towards your right elbow. Come on up, both arms up. And then fold over, touch the ground. Inhale your right leg back for a long lunge. And then downward dog. Stretch out long for plank. Bend your elbows. You can go part of the way or all the way. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Move your right foot forward. Join your left foot alongside it as you breathe out. Exhale into yourself. Sweep your arms up to stand. And release your arms. When your arms go forward, your left hand can grab hold of your right forearm, even all the way up by your wrist if you prefer. Lean over to the right. Up through center. Pray your hands together. And then fold over. Inhale your left leg back. Downward dog as you breathe out. Roll out long for plank. Bend your elbows. Open up your chest, up dog or cobra. Downward dog. Inhale your left foot to the front. Join your 2 feet together and fold. Up to stand, high prayer. Release, Tadasana. One more time. Use your right hand to grab your left arm somewhere maybe near the elbow joint. Lean to the left. Come up through center, arms up. Fold over. Send your right leg back. And then you can go right into Chaturanga. Over your toes. Downward dog. Look to the front. You can walk there, step there, or jump. Onto your fingertips. Fold over. Bend your knees to stand up in Utkatasana. And then release. One more time. Move your arms forward. Use your left hand to grab hold of your right arm. Lean to the right, but look left. Up through the middle with long arms. Fold over. Step your left leg back, breathe in. Right into chaturanga, or you can lower all the way down. Flip your toes, open your chest. Back you go, downward dog. See where your thumbs are, and you can walk or step or jump forward. Come to your fingertips. Fold over. Zigzag up to stand, Utkatasana. And then release, Tadasana. Notice what you feel and where you feel it. Notice if there's anything pulling your attention out. Anything sneaking a ribbon around you, ready to tie a bow. Breathe out one more breath here. Bend your knees, lift your arms, Utkatasana. Fold over, touch down, Uttanasana. Lean into your hand, step or jump back. Over your toes, upward facing. And downward facing. Pause here, grow some extra length through your arms. Make sure your head feels heavy. Go one last breath. Then move your right foot forward for a lunge. And then lengthen through your right leg and turn down your back heel. Move your right arm inside, palm open. Draw your right elbow right up to your belly and touch the back side of your right calf with your right palm. Bend your right knee as you come out of that. Warrior two. Tip back for peaceful warrior. And then cartwheel down. Even out with plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing. And downward facing. Inhale your left foot forward. Lengthen your left leg, ground your heel. Move your left hand inside, turn your palm open, and then palm the back of your left calf. Bend your knee, anchor into your back foot, cartwheel up for warrior two. Tip back and roll your right hip forward, peaceful warrior. Cartwheel down to the ground. Even out through the vinyasa, plank, and chaturanga. Open up your chest. Down dog. Inhale your right foot forward. Lengthen your leg, ground your heel. Move your right arm inside the same way. Go around the back of your calf. Rock up onto your heel. Move your left fingers and touch your right big toe. Revolve your chest and just peek through. Drop your left fingers, bend your right knee, all the way up and back. Peaceful warrior. Keep your knee bent. Side angle as you drop your right hand next to your right foot. Can always be on a block there. Exhale your hand down. Breathe into plank. Lower. Flip your toes. Open up. Down dog. Inhale your left foot up to the front. Lengthen and ground. Move your left arm in. Hook your elbow toward your belly. Cup the back of your calf. Flex your ankle. And then your right fingers can take hold of your big toe. Revolve and peek through your right elbow. Drop your right fingers first. Bend your knee. Sink in. Cartwheel up and back for peaceful warrior. Keep the bend on your left knee. Side angle. Reach, reach. Keep getting longer through your right waist by drawing some shortness into your left ribs. Exhale your hands down. Even things out. You can always go right into down dog. Lower. Open up. Down dog. Move your right foot up. Lengthen and ground. One more time, move your right arm inside so your leg is long. Hook. Go under. Flex your ankle. You can do what you did before. You can really hold your outer leg as your left hand goes over to your right hand. So you grip your fingers. And then open your chest. Drop your fingers away. Bend your knee. Walk your right fingers forward and right. Ardha Chandrasana. Opening up. Look down, soften your standing knee. Reach back, ground your heel. Tip back, peaceful warrior. Cartwheel down. Breathe into plank. Lower the way you like. Open up. Down dog. Last time on the other side. Move your left foot forward. Lengthen and ground. Hook your left arm in so you can really draw your shoulder next to your thigh. You can go to your calf or walk all the way around. And then once you're stable, take your right fingers to your left fingers. It's a little palm-palm monkey grip and revolve open. Flare your right armpit here. Coming into a halo triangle. Release your fingers first. Shift the weight into your left foot. Bend your left knee. Move your left fingers forward and left. Ardha Chandrasana. Opening up. Breathing in. Soften your standing legs so you can reach back, reach back, reach back. Land on your toes, drop your heel, and then tip back for peaceful. Cartwheel to the ground. Step back through plank. Lower the way you like. Keep your gaze forward. Lead with that openness. Over your toes, upward facing and downward facing. Pause. Get long through your reach. And then soften your knees. Look forward, step, walk, or jump. Come to your fingertips. And then fold in. Zigzag up. Utkatasana. And release. Roll your shoulders back. And then take your hands onto your waist. Once they're there, walk them back so your thumbs feel like they're in your middle back. And use that to puff your chest some. Put the weight into your right foot. Take a step back. Ground your heel. Open up your chest. Keep your chest open this way. So you've got your warrior one stance, but without the warrior one arms. Give yourself one last breath there. And then get long through your front leg. And as you do, find more weight in your back foot. Breathing in. And out. Bend your right knee. Release your hands to the ground. Simply step forward and fold into yourself. Utkatasana up. And then release. Take your hands to your waist, your thumbs in your middle back, the weight to your left foot. Step back with your right toes, not super deep. Ground your heel. Bend your front knee by pressing your back foot. And then notice where your waist wants to shorten or collapse and puff up some. Press through your back foot. Give yourself one last moment here, and then press through your front leg. Get longer. Find some openness. Breathing in. Try not to tip your head back. Not yet, anyway. And then bend your knee. Release your hands and step up. Fold into yourself. Utkata up. And release. You can take your hands onto your hips the same way or interlace your fingers. Keep some softness in your elbows. Take a step back, same distance about. Ground your heel. Draw your arms long as you're bending through your front knee. So it feels like a warrior one meets devotional warrior. And focus on getting longer rather than forceful. Give yourself one more moment here. And then as your front leg gets longer, feel yourself tilting back so your thumbs can go down your back leg a little bit. Open your gaze up. And then bend your front knee, hinge, release, and fold into yourself. Utkata up. And release your arms. Interlace your fingers again. You can change the grip if you're doing that. Take a step back with your right toes. Ground your back heel. And then as you're pressing through your back foot, bend through your front knee and let your arms get long. So you open up your chest space. Slide down your leg. Keep your gaze forward so it's not disorienting. Right? When you're in control, when you're in control, it shouldn't be disorienting. Stretch your front leg. Let your thumbs pull away from your body. Lift your gaze up. And then bend as you sink. Release. Step forward. Fold in. One more time each side. Utkata up. Release. One more grip of your hands, or maybe you're moving there now for the first time. Hands back, weight into your front foot. Take a slightly longer step. Ground your heel and go right into your front leg getting long. Tiny bend in your back knee to give more weight to your back foot. Tip back, arms. Now firm your back leg. Bend through your front knee. Release. Step up and fold. Utkatasana up. And release. So in this last one, you can let your head drop back if that feels okay. Take a step with your right foot. Slightly longer, remember. As you're getting long through your front leg, move your arms longer. Tiny bend in your back knee. So you really feel long from the top of your left toes up your left thigh. And then long. And then you can tilt your head. Bend on the way out. And then step back to down dog. Roll out long for plank. Bend your elbows over your toes. Back to down dog. And then hop into a crossed leg seat. And stretch your legs out long in front. When you get there, bring the sole of your left foot inside your thigh. And rather than turning to your bent knee, take a little turn to the right. So just like when you were sitting in Baddha Konasana, you can tend one set of fingers in front and the other set of fingers in back. direct your left thigh down with the muscles of your outer left hip. And then simply undo, setting up here for Ardha Matsyendrasana 2. So now the sole of your right foot can come inside your left leg. And you take the initial twist left, and you just see what it feels like. Not taking your head any further. So if it feels really constricted around the left side of your neck, just soften some there. You can always bend your left elbow to hook in more to your shoulder blade, meeting your spine. And then undo. You can do it that way again, or when you bring the sole of your left foot to your inner right thigh, you can take your right arm around your back. So it goes high at first. So you can kind of trace the base of your rib cage. And then perhaps your hand can find your inner thigh. And you can use your left hand somewhere down at your right foot. You can take the twist a little deeper now. Breathing in. Maybe your fingers walk toward the crease of your knee. And then release. To the other side. The sole of your right foot inside your left leg. Again, you can tent again, or as you begin moving toward the twist, your left arm can wrap around your back. And your left fingers might find your inner right thigh. And then your right hand can find some place to hold, whether it's your shin bone or your left big toe. Let your spine lead the twist, not your head. Breathing up through your spine so you get taller rather than collapsed. Good. And then unravel. And then there's one more time. So it could be exactly the same. If your body does so, you can bring your left leg into a half lotus. So it starts the same. Your sole can come close. And then rather than being inside, you take the pinky edge and your outer ankle across the top of your thigh. You can move your right sitting bone in a little bit, pull your pubis under so that your left thigh can get heavy without stressing your knee. And then it could be those tented fingers again. You could walk around, find your inner thigh, take the twist, and then you might see if your fingers will keep going so you can grab your own shin. Breathing in. And then your gaze can finish the movement. Good. Slowly undo it. Take your left leg out long. And then it can be the sole of your right foot to your left thigh. You can come up and over. Just make sure that you're not forcing your knee. So it's a deep bend, guide across. And then there can be little adjustments so that you can take the front side of your right sitting bone and tuck it back and slide it under some, just so that your right leg can feel heavy. And then when you wrap your left arm around, might be your inner thigh, as you take the twist. Breathing in. You can see if your fingers want to stretch out and search for your shin. For me, that only happens on one side. So honor what's real for you. Good, and then undo the twist. Undo your leg. Cross your shins. Come to all fours. Visit downward facing dog. Press through your hands. Go up high on your toes, and then as your heels are reaching back, Move your chin off your chest a little bit, just so you open your chest some more. Do that again. Up high. Reach back. Open your chest. Feel your forehead perhaps getting closer to the mat. One more time. Up high. Even pull in your belly. Round your back a little bit. And then send your heels back. Chin away from your chest. Forehead, forehead. Maybe your hairline touches the ground. Peel that up. Walk forward. Fold into yourself. And then come up to stand. If you're near a wall, you can just shift over to it. We're going to go upside down perhaps, if going upside down is part of your practice. So I'm not even going to move my mat because it's just going to be a short visit. When I set up at the wall, I'm going to measure so that I'm about one hand's distance off the wall. So I can use one hand as measurement and then set my other fingers back at the heel. So measuring that off there, moving into a short downward dog. Inhale your leg up, soften whatever leg is down, and then take a soft hop. Let your heels touch the wall, and you can stay here, or look through your arms so that the heel of your hand gets heavier, and then from there, crease your hips so that your butt goes to the wall. Just taking a brief hollow back. Open your mouth. Look at the floor. Press one sole to the wall to ease yourself down. And then have a seat. Roll your wrists around. That's all that we need of that. And then you can begin to set yourself up for Virasana. Sitting between your ankles. If that doesn't work for your body, sitting between without anything, you can always bring in a prop. Smooth under your outer thighs. Make sure there isn't too much sickle happening at your ankle. You can also sit on top of your heels if that's better. Start with a little bit of roundness in your body to encourage your bum to drop. And then find some length. You can stay right here or begin to walk your hands back so your fingertips can touch your soles, and then elbow down. And then use this moment just to puff your chest. Keep some of the crease that you have in your hip. And then you can move one hand forward so that you can start to ease down to your shoulders. And you still have this quasi-back bend in your body. You can stay here or let your arms halo around your head, holding onto your opposite elbows. Then it becomes Paryankasana or couch pose. Notice where you want to push your hips up. And if it doesn't feel great for your low back, then definitely come out of it. But you're finding the openness primarily in your thoracic spine, into your armpits, making sure you're on the back of your head. And then if you've got the halo grip, release it. Use your hand and your elbows to come up. You can free your feet. Scoot yourself forward a little bit and recline back to your back. Setting up for wheel, you can touch the back of your heels. And your hands are going to end up lining up next to your head. So if you need more of a sticky surface, You can always flip. You're practicing on a Mysore rug. You can flip that over so you're just on the sticky part for your hands and your feet, or if your mat's nice and sticky, leave things alone. Draw your shoulder blades closer to your spine, plant your hands. And then as you're breathing in, begin to lift your hips, press your hands, and lengthen your arms. Always stop somewhere in the middle there if that's better. Chin to your chest, bend your elbows, and lower slowly down. Roll your wrists around. Good. And then set it up again, perhaps the same way. Or you can move your hands and your feet a little closer in, so everything just got shorter, more compact, right? So that's the tying yourself up in a knot. If that's not good for your back, listen to that. Press your hands and your feet as you begin to lift your hips. Press through your hands and all the way up. Careful on the butt squeezing. Hang your gaze. And then chin to your chest to ease down. So if you're going to tie yourself up into something, then you also want to have the experience of getting untied. So now you can move for the last one. Your feet can go out of reach completely, right? Your hands can still line up near your shoulders, near your head. Your hips come up first. Press into your hands, narrow your elbows. So that now as you come into your wheel, your legs can get long as your arms get long. Urdhva 2. Chin in. Ease down. And then windshield wiper your knees. You can unfold anything you did to your mat. Good. And then draw your legs in a little bit and rock a couple times to sit yourself up. Stretch out your legs. And then bring the sole of your left foot into your right leg. Revolve toward your right leg so there's some twist, post back bend. And then hinge forward, pause about halfway. You can take your hand onto your foot, and both hands can hold. So it isn't about getting into a deep fold right now. Let your spine just recover from the back bend. And then do a little bit of the opposite action. So you open your chest, opposite meaning the opposite of what you might want to do, deeply fold. Open your chest instead. Bend your elbows some. And then sit yourself up. Keep your left foot as it is. Bring the sole of your right foot flat. And then you can bring your right heel in closer. And then begin to cradle your right leg. And it can just be a play of cradling here. Or if you like, your left elbow crease can go underneath your right Achilles and create a little shelf there. Let your belly tuck in, and then your right arm, like early on in those squats, reach your right arm up. So as you're reaching up, you're also getting longer in your waist, and you can tuck behind your head and hold on. Breathing in. It's a variation of chaturanga konasana. And then release it. Stretch out your legs. Bring the sole of your right foot into your left leg. And then revolve a little bit left. On your way to about half of a Janu Shirsasana. Bringing your hand in. Open your spine, so extend your spine rather than flexing it. You can flex at your hip crease for sure, but then keep some extension in your spine. So you find more length and less compression. And then a little bend to your elbows, but you're still gazing forward. Good, and then come on up. Drop the sole of your left foot. You can bring your right heel right in toward the perineum. And then begin to cradle your left leg. You can stay with the cradling or take your right elbow crease underneath. And then your left arm up. Remember, your belly can slide over into your left ribs. And then your left arm might go behind your head, and your two hands can find each other. So I bring my leg up with me into the grip. So I really got my chin pretty close to my leg, just so it doesn't feel like I'm compressing down. And then release. Stretch out your legs briefly. And then turn that into ankle to knee pose. So your right shin will be on top. You can always set something between your right knee and your left ankle. Hook into the front side of your right sitting bone. And this can be a stopping place for sure. Or you can take your left forearm down to the mat so that your left peace fingers can grip onto your left big toe. Revolve right. And then just like you've been doing, extend your right arm, cross across the mat so that your arm starts to go behind your head. Drop in, grab your big toe, and then re-articulate the revolving. Fold in. And release. Other side. Ankle to knee. So you can take your left sitting bone and move it back underneath you. Hook the ground with it. And let the seat and the fold perhaps be enough, or the seat or the fold be enough. Or you can move your right forearm down so your right peace fingers can hold on to your big toe. And you can reach up and over the way you did, or you can just reach across your body and let it be a little revolving here. Your choice. Sometimes if you peace grip, lift your knee, tuck in, you can drop again. Undo as you empty over, and then come on up. So if you've got anything on your wrist, you take that off. What's going to happen? And then if it's part of your practice, you can take what you did earlier with a half lotus and turn it into a full lotus. My left leg is on top, so I'm going to take my left arm, palm open, and slide through that little space like threading a needle so I can get down to my elbow crease. And then just like you were just doing, flex your arm. And then you can reach up behind, draw the lotus toward you to get your grip. And then sit up tall. Slip knot pose. And then release. On the other side. So you can put your left leg on top. And then your right. And sometimes your arm doesn't fit through there, right? So you can kind of make up your own hurrah, hurrah kind of thing. Or if you're going in, right palm, so you can slip through. So you get your elbow crease there. And then flex your arm to bring your lotus in close. Reach up with your left arm. You can go behind your head, and your hands might just wave at each other. Or you can draw your hands together. Coming into slip knot. And then release. And undo that. Stretch your legs out long again. You might have some bend in your knees. Sit tall, and just like your Janush, don't be in a rush to round yourself. You can slide your hands down your shins, open up your chest. Soften your expression. You might drop an elbow a little bit lower on both sides. Your head can drop some. Exhale out of your mouth. And ease yourself up. Sweep your legs around behind you. And just come down to your belly for a moment. And when you get down there, when you line it up and your elbows are wide, if you were to put your head down, your forehead would end up on your stacked hands. So that's about the distance that you want. But then narrow your elbows in. Frame your jawline. Just so you open up some of the stuff you've been doing with your neck before you rest. Nice and easy. A version of crocodile pose. Slide your hands away to let your chin drop. And you can rest here on your belly and take a knee out to the side and let it be more of a belly shavasana. Or if you like, you can lie down on your back and rest that way. As you rest, listen to these words. Freedom will not come today, this year, nor ever, through compromise and fear. I have as much right as the other fellow has to stand on my 2 feet and own the land. I tire so of hearing people say, let things take their course. Tomorrow is another day. I do not need my freedom when I'm dead. I cannot live on tomorrow's bread. Freedom is a strong seed, planted in great need. I live here too. I want my freedom just as you. Words from Langston Hughes. Drop in a little deeper. Tryambakaṃ yajāmahe sugandhiṃ puṣṭivardhanam urvārukamiva bandhanān mṛtyormukṣīya mā'mṛtāt. Start to breathe deeply again. And roll to your side so you can come up to sit. And then bring your hands together. Remember that fear is not your friend. You know the way in. Only you know the way in. So when you feel yourself being pulled out, twisted into unfamiliar knots, go in. Design your own complicated pattern. Learn from it, so that you can open out new. We are one life, we are one light, and we are one love. I bow, honoring the divine in you that is the divine in me. Peace be with you. Blessings upon you. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.